Convincing your family to move halfway around the world is a very tough sell, especially if they've got big doubts. But what if the reality of moving so far away doesn't match your dreams? You risk hurting the people you love. If your ideal Aussie home turned out to be a nightmare...
Oh God, there's a cockroach. It's horrible. Yeah.
Your daughter was torn by the idea of moving...
I suppose one way or another, one parent's going to be heartbroken.
And your friends didn't want you to leave.
It's going to just break my heart to say goodbye to them.
Would you be able to hold on to your hopes of starting a new life down under? Australia's sunny climate and beautiful coastline have long been a magnet for Brits seeking a new life abroad. On average, almost 100 of us emigrate to Australia every day. But the dream doesn't always match up, and roughly a third end up returning home. But that doesn't stop people from trying. The Buchanans want to find out if living in Australia could offer their family a better future. They'll have 1 week to experience life down under before facing a huge decision, whether to stay in the UK or to make the move for good. Their journey from Scotland to Queensland is a massive 10,000 miles and 24 hours, and it's already got them worried about what they're taking on.
It was tough.
I don't think we could get used to that. Nobody could get used to that.
If we make the decision to stay here, then I think the visits back home would be limited.
Yeah.
Luckily, it's only a short trip from the airport to their base for the week. Back in the UK, the Buchanans live in Armadale, a small town near Edinburgh. They're Angie and husband Jason, along with Angie's son Jordan, who's 18, her daughter Sophie, who's 13, and their baby son Jay, who's 2. They've been married for 6 years, but since the beginning, Jason has had one dream for the family.
I visited Australia about 9 years ago, and ever since I've met Angie, I've wanted to go back.
Unfortunately for Jason, Angie has very different ideas about where their future lies.
I've never fancied going. I've always been, I'm Scottish, I stay in Scotland. This is where all my roots are. I like being a mum, having foundations for your family, whereas Jason would pack his bags and go tomorrow.
However, concerns about the children's future have pushed Angie to finally consider Australia.
We believe, after hours and hours of discussion, that it would be best for all us in the family, in particular Jordan. I think Jordan would benefit the most out of everybody.
18-year-old Jordan has several disabilities that need extra care. Jason and Angie believe the Australian climate and lifestyle could improve his life dramatically.
Jordan flourishes in the summer.
Yeah, if we go on holiday, Jordan becomes a different boy altogether.
It's the weather affecting his joints and stuff like that, so his mobility, his posture.
He really finds it difficult here. When it comes to winter time, Jordan basically hibernates in a room at winter. We certainly believe that he's got more potential when sitting in a room.
Angie may have her doubts, but it's her daughter Sophie who's most worried about moving. Out of the whole family, she stands to lose the most.
I don't fancy living in Australia at all. My biggest fear would be I would never ever see my little sisters or my dad or my friends or stuff ever again. So it'd be quite upsetting to leave them and stuff.
It's hard because I don't want Sophie leaving her family, her dad and her sisters and extended family. But the thing with Sophie is I'm trying to better Sophie's life for her, give her more opportunities. And I think when we go to Australia, she'll flourish. So I need to make sure that Sophie's okay going to Australia.
And with a close family network, Angie and Jason are also aware of what they could be giving up.
My biggest concern would be leaving my mum. We see her almost daily. So not only am I leaving her, but I'm taking her grandkids away as well.
Half of me feels that I should stay for family ties. My family mean the world to me. I have daily contact. I don't know that they'll visit, but it's not the same as seeing them week to week.
They finally decided to give Australia a try, but with only 1 week to persuade his family, Jason knows the pressure's on.
It's the two girls that we have to convince to ensure that this goes through, Sophie and Angie.
Jason would be there tomorrow. It's his dream, but at the end of the day, it's not just Jason's choice, it's Jordan and Sophie and Jay's as well. It's a family thing.
The Buchanans want to find out if Brisbane in Queensland could be a good place for a new start. As well as offering all the benefits of city living, its warm climate should give them an opportunity to enjoy the outdoor Aussie lifestyle. But can it deliver everything they're looking for? They'll be staying in the Redcliffe area, 20 miles north of the city. Home for the week is a traditional Queensland timber house. As it's Angie and the children's first experience of living in Australia, Jason knows it really needs to impress.
Oh, this is Big Jane. Where's Jane? Oh, this is a dining room. Oh, this is Jay's room.
Let me see.
Cool.
Oh, wow.
And that's Geordie's bed. This is bigger than your room, isn't it?
Aye.
Cool.
Well, that's all sounding positive. But once they've had a chance to unpack, there are a few second thoughts.
First impressions of the house, very old-fashioned. Definitely wouldn't be something we would look at.
Since I've got here, it's not really blown me away as much as I thought it would. So I hope it opens up to me, like during the week.
If Sophie decides that Australia's not for her, then we've got to look at family dynamics. But Sophie fits into anything, and she's just tired, grumpy, and I think she'll enjoy it.
If Sophie can't be convinced by Aussie homes, the week ahead is going to be an uphill struggle. Hopefully a good night's sleep will help everyone settle in. But as day breaks on their first morning in Brisbane, it becomes clear they've had anything but.
When we came in yesterday, I don't think either one of us were completely happy with the house, but it just got worse behind the surface. The house was disgusting.
We saw a mouse and that kind of scared me. So like, as far as it goes for me, I'm not convinced at all that I would like to live here.
It's a bad start to the Buchanans' week and a blow for Jason's hopes of convincing them to emigrate. Hopefully a rapid relocation to a modern apartment, free of visitors and right next to the beach will help raise everyone's spirits.
This is nice. This is much better.
Yeah, it's nice.
To afford their ideal property, the Buchanans are planning on selling their home in Scotland. But with low exchange rates and high prices, many new arrivals have found Aussie homes out of their reach. So will the Buchanans have their work cut out, finding a house they can love and afford? Back in the UK, the family live in a modern 5-bedroom home. It's their pride and joy, and they have strong ideas about what houses down under will need to offer.
We need a 4-bedroom house because of different ages of the kids.
Hopefully a newer build house. The dream is to go there and have a nice standard of living, which in the first place equates to a nice house.
They think their house is worth around £180,000 and could have a budget of £250,000, but they know that finding somewhere they can all be happy with won't be easy. Today, we've arranged to give the Buchanans a taste of Brisbane's housing market. We'll show them 3 typical options based upon what they want from their ideal home, what they can afford, and the real price of property down under. After seeing what's on offer, we'll reveal to them just how much each house costs. The first stop is a suburb of Scarborough, about 20 miles north of Brisbane. Close to beaches, parks and shops, it should be a good location for the Buchanans' out and about lifestyle. The first house is in need of renovation and could offer good value as well as the 4 bedrooms they want. But will it be something to write home about?
Strange, eh?
What's this?
What looks to be dirty this?
Oh, just a big cockroach up there.
Ew, that's not a good start to any house viewing.
It's horrible.
Yeah. Oh god, there's a cockroach.
This is the living area.
Living area?
It's just strange, I can't get my head around it.
It's not getting any better upstairs, but Jason does have an idea on how to improve things.
If anything was to be done with this house, I think it needs knocked down and rebuilt.
What about little Jay? He seems pretty relaxed.
Do you like this house?
No.
OK then, this house is definitely not the start Jason wanted, and that's before they've even found out the price. Will their budget be enough to cover the property and renovation costs?
No way.
217,000. No chance.
No chance.
Totally surprised how much this is valued.
I just think it's so run down. They'd need to spend that to get it up to standard.
That's really surprising.
I'm
I
shocked.
really thought half of that.
I'm really shocked.
It might be affordable, but this house has got Jason's dream off to the worst possible start, and a future in Oz is looking a long way away. Also in Scarborough, the second house has 4 bedrooms and is located a short walk from the waterfront with its parks and cafes. For Jason, it really needs to impress.
Oh, this is nice.
It's cool.
Much better. This is
Oh, look at that, Jay. Wow.
This is more like what we were
I love
looking
it.
for.
The pool is an ideal start, but they've yet to set foot indoors.
That's nice.
Oh, this is lovely.
Oh, wow, look at that.
The lights, spot on.
It's lovely.
It's lovely.
Absolutely lovely. I love the ceiling. I love the windows.
Just the whole layout, it's just perfect.
This is music to Jason's ears and eyes.
Oh, look, that baby's got bagpipes on it. Look.
It's a sign. This George's room.
We need to get this decorated for you, wouldn't we? You get everything in here. I think this would be perfect size for you.
This house has done a much better job of impressing the Buchanans than the first, but will its price keep up the good work?
So this is the price of this house. You ready? 165. I would say that was definitely at the very limit of what we could afford. I think. Not surprised that it's that much because the house is stunning and it's really, really big.
It's everything I would want.
It may be out of budget. We need to look at.
It looks like Jason's hopes of moving his family are on the up, but the price is stratospheric. Can the final house convince everyone without breaking the bank? It's in an area of North Lakes, slightly closer to central Brisbane, but being 15 minutes inland, it should offer more value for money. As a 4-bedroom new build, it sounds like it could suit everyone.
This is lovely. But I cannot see how we could afford this.
One deadline.
Wow.
Love it.
This is nice. This is nice. If we could get something like this, I'd die a happy man.
I think that means Jason is impressed.
This is nice, eh? This is lovely.
His and her sink.
So
His and her showers, look. That's crazy.
I like the modern build house, and for me it ticks all the boxes. This would be my dream home.
That's good to hear, but do the rest of the family agree?
I love this house. I'm beginning to like Australia, I suppose.
I guess it's safe to say this house is a hit, inside and out.
There's a pool.
Never mind the pool, look at the barbecue.
Unbelievable.
And it's even prompted some second thoughts from Sophie.
I think I would consider moving
For this house.
if this was our house.
Much to Jason's relief, this house seems to offer everything the Buchanans want. But is the dream house just that, or could it be a real possibility?
350,000. It's cheaper.
Cheaper? I can't believe that this is cheaper than the other house. It's kind of shocked me.
Would this be more modern, newer? I thought it would have been more expensive.
This is great news for Jason's dream, but at £100,000 over budget, it comes with a hefty price tag. The Buchanan's Day started with a horror show at the first house. But everyone's spirits picked up at the second. And the third was everything they wanted down under. So, what's the verdict on property in Australia versus the UK?
Australia!
That was a bit of a surprise then. A bit of turn up for the books. Well done, son.
Well, compared to Armadale, I think the houses are a lot more better here than they are back there, and I think I could see myself living in a house here rather than kind of same style of house over there.
Definitely, Australia all the way.
With Angie and Sophie falling in love with property in Brisbane, things couldn't have started any better for Jason. But neither of the houses they liked will come cheaply, putting pressure on Angie to find good work prospects. In the UK, Angie currently works in social care, but she'd like to get back to her original profession if they move to Australia.
I've been with the council for just under 5 years. I took a short break in nursing and I came here. Ideally, my main aim is to go back into children's nursing because I'm a qualified children's nurse.
It's Angie's qualifications that hold the key to getting a visa, but she knows that moving will involve a sacrifice for her to afford the lifestyle they want.
I don't want to be working full time, but I do understand that I might have to for the sake of the children. But in an ideal world, 2 days a week would be great to go back into nursing.
The whole move rests on her shoulders, so we've arranged for Angie to visit Brisbane's Redcliffe Hospital to get a feel for working in Australia.
Hiya. Hello, I'm Emma Fitzhenry, the nurse unit manager from paediatrics. How are you doing?
Nervous?
Oh,
nervous.
You'll be right. Come with me, we'll go up to the children's ward.
Thank you.
While Angie gets to see the hospital, Jason is taking the children to the park. If they do emigrate, he'll look after them while they settle before finding work.
Back home, I own my own business, dealing with office technology, in particular photocopiers, printers and scanners. However, coming to Australia, at this stage I wouldn't have any ambition to start up my own company coming over here. I think it would be wise to find employment and see where that goes.
Back on the ward, Emma is putting Angie's bedside manner to the test. Has she still got what it takes?
So I might just introduce you to Callum.
Yeah. And what did you do?
I didn't do it. Someone fell on top of me.
Playing football? Skateboarding? Or chasing girls?
Can you see your arm? And show us?
Wow. And did you get to choose your own colour? Is your friend wrote on it? Yeah.
While Angie's back in a familiar routine, Sophie's thinking about a new life and what that could mean in Australia.
It's been really good since we're here, surprisingly. Didn't think it'd be as good as it has been. I think the thing that's most pushed me towards Australia now is just being here and experiencing it for yourself. It's not like a holiday, it's actually somewhere you could live.
But she still has a long way to go before she can choose where her future lies.
I think the most hardest thing for me would be leaving my dad and my sisters and my stepmom, and I think I try not to think about it, to be honest.
Back at the hospital, Angie is getting down to business with Emma.
At home I work part-time, so what is the vacancies for part-time staff, or is it?
Most of my staff are part-time.
Oh, right.
It's the minority that are full-time.
Okay.
So, it's a great work-life balance.
There are vacancies available?
We don't have any vacancies at the moment, but with 6 beds opening at the beginning of next year, I'll have 8 full-time positions.
Thank you. When it comes to salaries, what is like a full-time employee and what's part-time?
So dependent on your experience and where you would sit on the pay scale, as a registered nurse you could earn anywhere from $58,000 to $78,000 at the top end of the scale.
Oh, that's great. But Jason wouldn't want to work if that was the case.
That definitely sounds like good news. It means she could have a starting pay of £37,000 a year, £19,000 more than her current part-time salary.
Today's been very, very positive. I feel a lot calmer. I'm a bit excited actually, to be honest with you.
Angie's prospects look good, but will they make up for the sacrifices she'll have to make in order to move to Australia?
Real had a nice day. The girls on the ward have been really nice and very helpful. So yeah, very, very positive experience.
So, how will she vote?
Australia! For me, as the main applicant, I feel that I've got no worries getting a job. It's been a very pleasant experience today.
Another vote for Oz is more good news for Jason. However, there is a catch. A bigger salary would help pay for the lifestyle they want. But working full-time would mean Angie has less time to enjoy it with them. Could seeing the value of their home make their decision any clearer? Back in the UK, Jason and Angie live in a 5-bedroom house which they've lovingly renovated and believe to be worth £180,000. They'll need every penny to afford a house they like in Australia. We've sent round 2 estate agents to give us their opinion on their home in Armadale.
Come on up with Daddy. Oh, look at this, Jay. Whose house is that?
Very nice room. One decorative wall which is quite loud. Not everyone's taste, but that can be changed. I personally like it.
There's your motorbike.
Bedroom on the lower level, it's always handy to have. It's been a garage conversion which does add value to your property.
Let's wallpaper, let's see.
Yeah, good sized room, nice tasteful decoration. Yeah, it's not cluttered at all.
What room are we going up to now?
Wow, this is lovely.
Thank you.
Justin fan, obviously. And on the light switch, amazing.
It's a classic 4-bed detached house with a garage conversion. In the current market, there are quite a few on the market in the area, and there is a bit of competition for the property. But typically, I would expect it to sell for £170,000 to £175,000.
In my opinion, I reckon this house should achieve about 185, about 180,000 for a quick sale. That should be achievable at a fixed price.
Those prices were not a surprise at all. We realised that we couldn't get the house that we want in Australia for the price of our house in Armadale. But what it does do, it just confirms that we need to use as much equity and savings as possible to get our dream home in Australia.
At this precise moment in time, this is our future, this is the kids' future. And as a family, you do whatever you can to get whatever you want, what you're used to, and kind of live to that expectation too.
That's more or less what they expected. But even if they use all their savings and equity on the move to Australia, will it be enough? We've prepared a breakdown of their everyday living costs to see if they can afford the life they dream of in Australia.
So that turns out approximately £15 a week cheaper.
£60 a month, which is, well, it's a big saving. Oh, look at the size of the mortgage.
No, mortgage repayments 1811. So the mortgage payment has doubled.
Okay.
75 equals. So total is 309. One. So in terms of outgoings, we're just slightly more than we would be back home. However, our salaries have increased quite substantially. which means we're far better off here.
We're good, son?
We're good, son. We were thinking possibly when it came to the calculations, everything, and putting it together, we were a bit worried or apprehensive.
That it wouldn't go our way and that we wouldn't have the opportunity.
And that might be the first thing that would put some doubt in our mind, whether it was the right move or not. But
looking at
it's went the other way, to be honest. The salaries has been pretty overwhelming in terms of what we could potentially earn here.
Angie and Jason have worked out they would be a lot better off in Australia if they both worked full-time. So how will they vote?
The reality check, which was all positive, and for that reason we're going to vote Australia.
Australia.
Seeing the figures in black and white has convinced Angie a move down under could work. But what's always been at the heart of Jason's dream is the opportunity for the whole family to enjoy a better lifestyle, in particular Jordan and Sophie. Back in the UK, they enjoy spending time together.
We're a very close-knit family, but that has its own challenges because of the age gaps between Jay, Jordan and Sophie. So we do the regular outings that all families do, but we also enjoy the simple walks with the dogs, and that's important to us that we keep that together somehow in Australia.
All I want for Jordan, Sophie and Jay are the good things in life. I just want them to blossom and get the chances and opportunities that I never did as a child or a teenager. And if that means that Australia could be their next home and provide different activities and a different way of life from them, then that's where we have to go.
One of the biggest factors in deciding whether Australia is the place for them is what kind of life it could offer Jordan. Angie and Jason hope that it will give him his independence and the outdoor life he thrives in.
I think both of us firmly believe Jordan's got more potential in him.
But I think that the two of us would like Jordan to have a wee job and
Just have his own life.
he is kind of secluded to his wee self and he doesn't have any communications with anybody. And as a mum it's worrying because you don't want everything that you've done for your son for him to waste away.
So we've arranged for them to visit Cascade Place, a day centre for adults with disabilities.
Welcome, guys.
Hi there, how you doing? I'm Jason.
G'day, Jason.
This is Jordan.
G'day, Jordan. How are you, mate? Hi. Come on through, guys. Welcome.
This is nice and colourful.
Everything that you see in this room here has been made here by the artists of the place. So I'll take you for a bit of a wander through the building and show you some of the the ways we do it and a couple of the other things that we've got. Look through here, we have our recording studio. Where we have Chris and Kieran and Jeremy working today. So Jordan, I know you're interested in music. This is Chris.
There's a whole range of activities that Jordan could pick from whenever he wants.
This dress pattern actually was donated to us, the pattern itself, but we make all the inserts. They're all unique. Everything that's made here is unique, like you can't reproduce it. So all the guys here and others on other days make that insert and we sew it here and we sell them all. We have exhibitions at galleries on a regular basis, but we also have like arrangements with local coffee shops, places on the waterfront where they're happy to display it and sell it for us. So.
But it's not just about arts and crafts for Jordan. Angie and Jason's dream is for him to become more independent in the future.
All I've ever wanted was for Jordan to be seen as a person, not as a figure or a number or just somebody with special needs, but to be identified as Jordan.
Jeff Trappett from Queensland Cerebral Palsy League is able to address their concerns.
What's really important for us is how we can progress Jordan and find the right activities or workshops that's going to take him into adulthood.
So it's about building those skills up that someone would build up in life to be able to move on to the next stage.
Definitely.
And do you get involved in employment opportunities for him?
Our job is to help Jordan with whatever his goals are. So if that's to get work, then that's what we can work on.
We start with the outcome and then we just work towards that outcome. Whatever we have to do along the road might be different for every person, and it might change with Jordan 1,000 times, but you've always got that goal in mind, that outcome.
It all sounds really positive, but Jason has one final question.
Would you assist in getting Jordan a girlfriend?
That'll be easy, I reckon.
No. No. No, thank you.
We might have a conversation without Mum around, hey?
It's been a useful experience for Jason and Angie, but have they heard what they needed to hear?
I was really impressed with the centre and what they've got to offer children like Jordan, and I actually believe that what they're trying to promote, that they really do promote it, and I think Jordan would really benefit.
I feel a lot better.
I feel a lot more confident for one association that we've spoke to. I think Jordan would excel.
That seems to have allayed Angie's worries and has helped bring Jason's Australian dream one step closer. But does life down under hold enough for all the Buchanans? Today they're spending the morning at Dreamworld. It's a wildlife and adventure park just outside Brisbane. This is Jason's final chance to sway everyone towards emigrating.
He's got the same size of feet as you, Jordy.
This is what it's all about, especially for the kids. First time Jay, Jordan and Sophie have seen any kangaroos, crocodiles, things like that, so yeah, it's good.
However, he's very aware that even though he's persuaded Sophie to make this trip to Australia, there's still a long way to go.
Sophie, she said to me, she's devastated because she obviously has to leave her dad, stepmom, sisters and the rest of the family, and I think that's on her mind.
Yeah, I do feel really guilty, really. I feel like I shouldn't enjoy myself over here, but can't really help it, I suppose.
But it seems the simple pleasures of life down under are winning her over.
This is the first time I've ever seen a kangaroo. Now I'm feeding it, and I think if I was to move to Australia, like this makes me motivate even more to go to Australia because, well, it's once in a lifetime chance to feed a kangaroo. If we lived over here, we'd be doing this every weekend. I think it's brilliant.
And it's not just Sophie who's enjoying this trip.
Yeah. Oh, geez, kissing it.
This is the kind of thing that we would like to do more of, but obviously the weather back home, you can't. It's just, there's no enjoyment out of it. But when it's kind of even just like this, it's nice. It was always me that had the doubts, but I'm enjoying it.
Oh, I don't like it. Go and get it off. Go and just take it off. That was fantabulous.
Amazing.
Felt like
heavy.
Slimy. It's like I had its face, Mum. You had its bum. I had this.
It was squeezing.
Oh, yeah. It's like that one.
So, after a packed morning, have they got into the swing of the Australian lifestyle? It's time to vote.
We've had a great day and we've experienced things that we haven't experienced before, like holding the koalas and the kangaroos. And our vote is... Australia!
Why did you like it? Yeah. Did you enjoy yourself? Yeah.
After an ideal day, it's a unanimous vote from the Buchanans for the Aussie lifestyle, and the whole family seems to have fallen for life down under. But there's one more hurdle to face before they make their final vote: the reality of leaving behind the people they love. So we've prepared some messages from friends and family back home.
Here we go.
Hi guys.
Hello guys, hope you are having a great time in Australia.
Angie and Jason are meant for each other. They totally bounce off each other.
And every weekend they've always got a plan for the kids. Every weekend, not just the school holidays. And they're lovely kids. And I love them in bits.
I'm going to miss her. It's going to just break my heart to say goodbye to them.
If you did decide to move to Australia, I will miss you like loads, because we've been friends for so many years, and like all the stuff we've been through, all the laughs and all the sad bits that we've had, and I really miss them all, and I really miss you too.
If you do decide to go, it's going to rip us up a bit, because you're my wee sister, my nephew, my nieces. It's just going to kind of rip us up a little bit.
Well, I think they're doing the right thing. I know for a fact he loves me to bits. As long as they're happy, that's all that matters. Jason, I've always said to you, if an opportunity comes up in any way, go for it. And I still say go for it. I think it's the best decision the two of you could make for the family and yous.
Right, I'll cuddle. I'll move over.
I want the cuddle job.
Okay. It's no fun, is it?
Wasn't very nice. It's a nice little...
Oh, isn't it nice that people are going to love you and miss you? Of course it's nice.
No, it is nice, but it's just...
People gaining support to have a better life.
I never heard one person there saying don't do it.
I know, but...
You know.
It has been made a lot more real that we might actually go. Just need to wait and see.
How are you? You alright?
Jordan's like that. What's the fuss?
Seeing messages from home was a painful experience, especially for Angie and Sophie. And having fallen for Australia during the last 7 days, has this put the move back in the balance?
I've obviously been the one driving this, but it's been pretty overwhelming this week, thinking, you know, reality's starting to kick in. And obviously I'm leaving my mum, which is going to be tough, especially with the age she's at. Yeah, a lot to think about, to be honest.
For Angie, the week has shown her what Australia could mean for Jordan.
In the last few days, I mean, Jordan's just excelled in his personality and talking to people and just... He's just fascinated with what's going on around about him. And it's great.
But she knows the final decision is going to be far from simple.
This week's experience has kind of turned everybody's life upside down. From a family's point of view, this is going to be one of the toughest decisions we've got to make, because it's not just me and Jason's choice.
And Sophie's choice about her future has no easy answer.
I suppose I'm a bit torn right now between going home and staying here. I think just leaving your family and your friends is just horrible. Just for the better lifestyle, it's just horrible. I suppose either one way or another, one parent's going to be heartbroken.
Now it's time for the Buchanans to make their final vote.
So it's been a great week, lots of new experiences, loads of vital information, and we're now ready to vote UK or Australia.
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 I'm not sure.
No surprise there then.
What did you pick, George? Well done. 4 out of 5 ain't bad.
Having faced the ups and downs of life in Australia, it seems the move isn't quite in the bag. After a week to remember, the Buchanans seemed in touching distance with their Australian dream. But with Sophie undecided, their future hung in the balance. They've been back now for a couple of weeks, and I've come to find out if anything has changed since then. First off, I want to catch up with Sophie. So Sophie, for you it is different because you do have your dad back in Scotland with your stepmom and your sisters as well, who I know you're very close to. Now, it hasn't been easy, has it?
No, it hasn't been easy at all. It's horrible for me having to decide if I should leave them or leave my other family, and it's just horrible thinking about it, and it did make me feel really guilty. But then I think that I would benefit a lot from going over there. And I think I need to be a bit selfish about it and think about what would benefit me and like my family, like my brothers, and think there's loads of opportunities to come back here and see them like once or twice a year.
Of course.
Since I've been back, they're like, no, you should go because it's better.
You've got their blessing.
Yeah.
Which is so, so important. So if I gave you a flag now, which way would you vote?
I think I would vote Australia.
Yeah?
Yeah.
If your mum and stepdad could hear you now, they'd be cheering.
Yeah.
And speaking of Angie and Jason, they have some news too, but this time it's not been so positive.
There's been a few things popped up that maybe we were slightly naive before we went.
Such as?
Well, the biggest thing that we overlooked was the concerns of getting a visa for Jordan.
Right.
To cut a long story short, it seems it's going to be very, very difficult to obtain a visa for Jordan due to his learning difficulties. But on the flip side of that, that's highlighted some positive sides of things that we need to do with Jordan.
In a nutshell, what are you trying to achieve with Jordan so that the visa might be granted?
In terms of what the Australian government look at, if anything was to happen to myself or Angie when we were in Australia, the first question the Australian government are going to ask is, could Jordan live independently?
Right.
So we're striving now to push him forward to do the daily living skills, giving him the responsibility of making food, washing, domestic stuff. So Jordan knows that for him to go to Australia, he needs to work hard too.
We've always believed that Jordan has the potential to live independently in the future and things like that. So this has just maybe been a big push.
Push for us, yeah.
So it is difficult, you've got to be honest, to secure a visa for someone like Jordan.
Yeah.
But you think you can overcome that?
Yeah, absolutely. We still firmly believe we've got a chance of getting to Australia. We would like to be in Australia by next summer.
How fantastic. Our summer, their winter, and it'll still be nicer than in the UK, won't it? So exciting times ahead.
Definitely.
I really hope it works out for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, fantastic news. It's unanimous. The Buchanan family want to move to Australia, and that includes Sophie. Now, there's still some visa issues to sort out, but all going well. They're going to be starting a new life in Australia very soon.
Reinventing and preserving Britain's empty homes and houseboats here on BBC One at 11:45. Homes Under the Hammer is next.